So here we are with Renegades versus Cloud9. We're going to talk about the difference between what happened on Overpass with Renegades versus what happened with VP and how Renegades kind of used their aggressiveness to ruin Cloud9's T side. So here we are, round one. You can see that Cloud9's going B, but if you look over at Seiko and Dexter, they're actually pushing up. Dexter pushing up here to Fountain to check this angle. That's a fairly standard peek. I see a lot of teams do that. The USB has a really good advantage here. You can kind of get like 2 shots off, try to get a headshot, and then fall back very safely. But watch how Dexter peeks and then just immediately keeps going. So he peeks, doesn't see anyone, and then immediately just follows all the way along. So at the same time, Seiko is starting to push down here, and then INS has quite a bit of water control. So they've already pushed up far in 2 spots where INS is, and then also where Dexter is. So they have a lot of information. But also, say someone was to come water versus INS, Seiko's also right here. Only real territory that Cloud9 has right now is this right here, right? Whereas the Renegades has, they know no one's long, they know no one's here. They have all of this right here. So they have all of this map control right now. So they know that Cloud9 has to be B. So Hats and Mata are gonna kind of like sit around up here, play retakes, play safe. Dexter's coming for a long flank. INS is kind of hiding over here, waiting to see where they come in, and then we'll see what happens there. They're kind of doing their normal thing. MOTM's coming in. He's going to run his line, which we talked about in the last video, which his line is to go straight up here. Now, he doesn't expect anyone to have already pushed into this water area. They kind of come in, MOTM sees someone graffiti, and they kind of just start checking the whole site. Meanwhile, INS is seeing, hey, no one's water, so he gets 2 easy kills because they don't have expected someone to have pushed that far. After he gets the 2 kills, you can already see Seiko is already coming out. He's like about to come out right here. And then you already have Dexter, who's halfway along this big flank too. So about 2 seconds into them getting onto the site, they're already going to have a 4th person there. And then they have another player on a big flank because they have such little map control over here. Because Dexter pushed this. A lot of teams would not push that. They would kind of wait like around this area, or they would kind of just like fall back here. But by him pushing there, they were really able to just start pressuring the map and shoving it down to this area. So we're here in round 5 now, and we're going to take a look at Hats and then also Dexter. Dexter is going to push up here in con and like be pretty aggressive, while Hats is again getting this water control, just kind of peeking it, not going out too far this time, but just kind of peeking it, playing safe, making sure that no one's coming up water, so that way Dexter can't get backstabbed. And so he's playing close, he knows someone's in here, and so he's just kind of like waiting. And then you're going to see the second that they throw this flashbang here, he's going to peek. Here's the pin being pulled, it goes, and he peeks right there, and he has all that. And then Hats can kind of push up and help a little bit. He then peeks again here, gets a 2nd kill, and throws a smoke up there in case anyone's coming down. So a lot of times someone playing con is just going to kind of like sit right here, you know? Kind of just like play back or sit in one of these angles. So Dexter kind of waits the second he hears the flash going, he peeks to get a kill. What would you normally do as a CT, right? You're like bailing out the back, you're bailing up top, because you know someone else is there, but he knows that JT or someone else is probably up here if they're taking con control. So he goes back and then re-peeks to get a 2nd kill. Then knowing that someone's up here, knowing that Hats has this water control, here's where it's safe. So smoke's up here, and now he has all this control and is safe all through right here. So this round is interesting. This is actually the first round that they decide to have any long presence at all. They haven't had a single person long in the game up until this point, and I think they might just be kind of guessing, playing the odds. They might know that Cloud9 already doesn't go long, but they haven't really had much success. It's 4-1. Maybe they think, hey, you know what? This is going to be the round they go long. Let's kind of just go stack it and see what happens. So you can see Dexter comes over here, hides behind the tree, and then the op is going to come right behind him and play behind him. So now Cloud9 hasn't gone long once yet. They haven't actually played long at all. They guessed to go long. They think Cloud9, hey, haven't had any success going B, going mid or whatever. So hey, let's just stack long, see what happens. Dexter's just going to wait for Seiko to shoot. That's going to draw JT's attention. And then Dexter will just pop out and get the kill. So Dexter gets the kill right and then drops this smoke. Now what do you expect a CT to do? You expect a CT to leave, right? Like, you expect them to head back down here, head back towards site, wherever else. But he actually comes back and is sitting in this corner behind the smoke. So Floppy comes out, and Floppy's kind of peeking around, trying to see if he sees any CTs, checks the corner, doesn't really see anything. So Floppy just starts running. Dexter's actually going to hear all of this because he doesn't expect Dexter to be sitting up in the smoke. He expects him to have gone back to site, you know, because you get a kill, you go back, kind of play the new angle. So as he's hearing them run away, you know, he's pushing up to kind of see what's going on. They already have 2 deep on B right now. So now as he sees this, INS is also going to head B. Dexter's on like this crazy soon flank. Like he is right behind them, all because he was pushed up in that smoke. He comes down, gets a kill. Even though Cloud9 actually gets 2 kills down there, INS is already like almost here. Seiko's about to be. And because Dexter's on this flank, they already have the site like covered again. So in this round, we're 20 seconds in. JT had popped over and dropped a flash right here. So Dexter kind of backed up, expecting someone to come mid, sees that there's still no one mid, and so just aggressively decides to get connector. So now when we pause right here, Dexter's connector and they didn't see anyone mid. Seiko is jump peeking long, so they can pretty confidently say that they have this entire side of information. They know they're not connector. They know that they're not mid. He's jump peeking long, so unless they're right here, then they're gonna be B. So Dexter's just chilling right outside listening. Second he hears stuff go, he pops out. He didn't get a kill here, which is really unfortunate for him, good for us. But they already have 3 other people on the site knowing that they're coming. So because he was able to push connector there, they were able to keep the 3 people on B. The op just kind of jump spotting just in case, back A, so if something happens, he just hides and they retake. He was able to pop out and cause a distraction. I think 9 times out of 10 he gets a kill there. He just didn't this time. But they're already able to hold on to the site. So here again, we're gonna see Hats take a water position. Cloud9 is gonna molly, he's gonna smoke, and then kind of push up, fast water. And so he's already so deep in water. He's just so aggressive. They drop a smoke. They're going to have absolutely no idea that he's here because with the utility and just like normal play, they would just stay on site and kind of like wait or peek or kind of see what's going on. Floppy's going to come up and kill Seiko as Cloud9 drops his smoke to the bathroom doors. So he gets to kill Seiko, and then Dexter, instead of backing up, actually moves forward and kind of hangs out around this smoke. Again, Cloud9's probably expecting him to have moved to site. And now you can see here with the flash actually hits Dexter. So Dexter actually, instead of going back to site, moves up into the smoke and is moving around behind them. But he's hit by the flash, so OC knows that he's there, and he ends up getting killed. But again, right there, that aggressiveness, if he's not hit with that flash, the other 3 Cloud9 players are 100% heading towards the site, and he's wrapping right around behind him. After Dexter's dead, INS, instead of staying on site, he is actually going to push long. So instead of sitting back and kind of waiting to see what happens, he's pushing long. Cloud9's dropping that smoke right here, kind of expecting them to be able to push up to this area. So INS is actually already in front of that and is going to keep going in front. Gets a really nice shot, gets another kill, but now you again would expect him to stay behind the smoke that's there. So he waits, and instead of staying behind the smoke, he pushes through the other side and almost lines him back up. But him pushing up through that original area instead of just sitting back on site and letting Cloud9 execute, just totally screwed up. He hit 2 nice shots, and then the round becomes so difficult at that point. Even then, Cloud9 still had some room, but INS pushing back through, getting in a good position to where they feel like they're safe and they're not, was just another really smart play by them. So here we are in round 10, and it's a little bit later into the round. They actually played pretty far back up to this point. Probably expecting, again, Cloud9 to switch it up, go fast, whatever. So Hats, again, having not seen anyone come on side or anything, is going to take this water control. This is obviously very dangerous because you're 40 minutes in or 40 seconds into the round. The terrorists could be anywhere. So peeking this, they literally could have the crosshair just waiting for you to peek. But decides to be aggressive, takes a peek, and gets water control. Meanwhile, on the other side, they drop a smoke towards bathrooms, and so Dexter decides he's going to just push up right here. Cloud9 easily could have been past the smoke, but he decides to push up and get aggressive. So then as they're throwing utility, he decides to push up through the smoke and get the last guy. That second kill was a fantastic shot. But because he's pushed all the way up there, he's like basically in the smoke waiting for them. As it fades, he gets the last guy because Cloud9 assumes, hey, they're going to be back at site. They're dropping the smoke. I know the normal angles. And he's not even just waiting behind this doorway. He's already out in the middle pushing towards them. This is the next round, round 11. Cloud9 is on eco. And I thought this was actually kind of surprising. So Dexter is super aggressive connector. And I'm assuming that he knows that they're on pistols, or at least they have a bad buy. So I'm kind of surprised that he's taking this in here, because you got to assume that they have umps or SMGs or CZs or whatever. Like, they're going to be really close to him. And if there's two people, maybe even one, they could get this kill on Dexter. So I'm kind of surprised he was this aggressive. So they also just grenaded open door. I feel like, again, this makes it dangerous for Dexter because he's looking out. He hasn't actually checked down the connector. So now he can be attacked from two angles. But maybe that's like the beauty in what they're doing, is that they see, oh, they've blown open the door. That means there's no one connector or whatever. They're kind of just like faking it out. And so again, because of his aggressiveness, he's going to get a backstab kill. So now we're at round 12. And again, they haven't had another long setup except for the original one back in round 6. So it's 10-1. Maybe they're assuming like, hey, they haven't been successful. They're going to have to go long at some point. The 2 rounds that they decide to set up long are the only 2 rounds that Cloud9 actually pushes presence long. So there is definitely like luck to some of these things that they're doing with the aggressiveness, but it just worked out so well every single time they did it. So since they have this double long setup right here, they actually have everyone playing pretty passive on B, because they don't want to lose someone right here and then have these two have to make like this giant trek all the way back if it's a B push or whatever. So they're actually playing pretty far back on B, not doing anything aggressive, not pushing water like they have been, and just kind of like waiting, which works out perfectly for them. So what's going to happen right here is JT is going to peek while MOTM and OC are both going to come out here. So the kind of plan to get long control is they're going to flash here, they're going to peek, either flash the opper off, or if one of them dies or something like that, these two other are here to trade. It actually, again, works out perfectly for Renegades, because Seiko is going to get this kill, which allows Dexter to focus and fire this way. Because if Seiko doesn't get this kill, then Dexter has to peek and get this, and then he's being attacked from 2 different angles. But because Seiko nails this shot, Dexter's able to turn around, and they're not even going to expect him here because Seiko is watching here. So let's watch. See, JT gets killed. They come out and he's right behind him. And then the round's over at this point. Seiko misses that shot. I think all 3 of Cloud9 live there, because JT peeks, is watching tree for that. As Dexter peeks, they're going to see him, they're going to notice. But because he dies and leaves, everyone on Cloud9 thinks that long is clear. Look at how confident Dexter is with his aggressiveness, with how well it's working. He's going to literally drop this smoke. So what's any CT normally going to do? They're going to head back to the site. But no, he's literally going to molly, smoke, and then jump through this. Floppy kills him, but that's just like the confidence that they have at this point, that like, hey, everything aggressive we're doing is working. So I'm going to molly, smoke, and then just jump through it and see what happens. So here we are on hats again. Cloud9 mollies, he's ready with the smoke. Boom, all of a sudden he's water. They also have Dexter up in connector, and all of a sudden 15 seconds into the round, they're completely sandwiched here because he's got water control, they're in connector, and they have Dexter already up here. As they're coming up, Dexter again in an aggressive spot gets a kill. Hats is like literally already behind Sonic here. So as Sonic gets that, he doesn't hear the door open, probably because he's shooting, and boom, he's dead. 4 on 3, Hats is already pushed. So now their map control is this entire area. So then after this kill, Hats doesn't do what you would expect. It's now a 4 on 3. What would you do after this situation? You'd back up, you'd close squeaky door, and you go back to site, or maybe you go top con. But no, Hats decides that he's going to just wrap around completely behind them. So now he can hear them running by and has information for everyone to know. So now you can see INS is heading back, Malta is heading back, the ops in place, and they're just completely pinched now because Hats is behind him. Everyone's heading towards A. They know exactly where everyone's going, all because he gets that kill and doesn't like leave, doesn't go up here. Just he was like, oh, I'll be aggressive and push down here and see what happens. So obviously what they're doing is an extremely risk-reward system. It worked incredibly well against Cloud9 in 2 different matches, but a lot of these times they would push, it could easily be punished by other players waiting or expecting it or whatever. And things go just like a little bit differently, and this match could have been completely different, but it worked in the situation. Their aggressiveness totally threw off all of like the setups and plans that they seem to have. So now let's kind of compare this to what Virtus.Pro was doing versus Cloud9, who Cloud9 had a ton of success on. As you can see, what they're doing is they're sending 4 to B and then just Jamie on A. But even though they're gonna have 4 B, they're all literally just gonna stay on this deep site. So you can see Cloud9 is able to get an absolute ton of control. So we're 25 seconds into the round right now, right? And so Cloud9 has connector, they have water, they have all down here, and they have like all of mid. So they have a ton of control right here. I know that looks ugly, I am so sorry. With just James being here, he has to back up, right? But even with this, they're still playing super deep. So after waiting 25 seconds, Buster decides he's gonna check water, and then Sonic kind of sees him. Gets a nice kill, but then he falls right off. Cloud9 can start controlling. Cloud9 now, they lost a person, but now they just gained this whole water area. And James is sitting so far back. And so they're able to just kind of wait, do what they need to do, and execute on everything. So now we're 50 seconds into the round, right? Virtus.Pro has absolutely no idea where Cloud9 is at this point. They could be B, they could be A. All they're doing is watching down this angle. They're watching long, and then they're like super deep here in B. So Cloud9 could literally be like right here. They could be right here. They could be in here. They could be long. They have absolutely no idea where they are. So Cloud9 is able to take their time, set it up, and win this round. So here we are again, round 6. James just threw a grenade over here and then is leaving. Even though Cloud9 just got a kill B and they were aggressive, they actually got a kill over here too. But James threw this nade and then was all the way back here. So even if Cloud9 doesn't get these kills, they have all of this. They have everything. They have the entire map. So let's take a look at Quicker this round. So you can actually see that Jamie's op in here and they're both over here in A, and he's actually going to be in a very, very similar situation to what Dexter was in round 9 when they played, where he kind of pushed into this smoke right here and then the flash hit him. So JT is going to come around this corner and he's going to kill James, and then let's watch Quicker. So James dead. So now Quicker is here, the very similar situation with this smoke. What would Dexter do? I mean, Dexter 100% goes through this smoking around, right? But Quicker actually just stays in a safe space, sees what's happening. JT spots but doesn't see him. So Quicker actually gets this kill right here, takes the op, and then completely leaves. So yeah, he got the op, but now he has no information about what's going on. I think if like Dexter gets that op, he's checking here, or he's going back this way to check, or he's going like long, something like that. So Quicker just falls back to site. They're super deep B, so the amount of control that Cloud9 has on the map is just huge because he left. So he doesn't know if they're coming up. He doesn't know if they're here. He doesn't know if they're here. They could be here. They just have no idea what's going on. And so again, Cloud9 can take their time, set it up, and win the round. Round 8, the last round, I'm going to show you a VP. We're looking at Quickard and James. So James is going to come up here and peek, and he actually sees there's no one here, right? So he actually has quite a bit of control. So it doesn't see there's anyone coming. Quicker comes down connector, knows there's someone here because Cloud9 just dropped the molly, throws a nade, and then he leaves. And James is doing the exact same thing. So James leaves, Quicker completely bounces. For a second there, he was up here, they had all this control, and then Quicker was down here, like contesting this, and they know someone's here, right? They know someone's here. So they just leave, and Quicker is like all the way out. Like he's falling all the way back to site. James is watching long, but Quicker is like literally all the way back, jump spotting at site. For a second, they had, this control, and they had all of this in their control, right? But they peaked and then just left. Now, what control do they have? The only control that they have is this and this, right? They just gave it all up. OC, JT can come, Floppy's going to come up connector, they're going to come up here. And they're just going to be able to full execute and completely win this round, when originally they actually had some pretty good spots and they were pushed up pretty well. And again, B site, they're just chilling. So Cloud9 has full water, full everything. So obviously this team is very well practiced because on defaults, man, they just seem to do so well, especially on Overpass. When a team is defaulting, they know how to check everything, mull everything off. They know how to pick their spots. But obviously there's a ton of different styles in Counter-Strike. And I think as the team grows, they'll learn like, okay, you know, we played Renegades on this. We saw what a truly aggressive and kind of a disrespectful mindset looks like. And they can take that and they can say, okay, how can we adapt? How can we change? How can we get a little bit more map control? How can we make sure that they're not pushing behind us? They're not pushing through smokes. They're not up long. Like, how do we make sure of these things and make sure that next time that someone's aggressive, that they just get even more punished than if they were default, because these are Cloud9's areas of the map, not where you should be. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully we all learned something. My whole goal of this is to get smarter myself and maybe turn the Cloud9 fan base a little bit smarter as well. I think we can all grow in our knowledge of CS and just how these pros see so many things so differently. And I'd love for all of us to be able to see those things, see them in real time, see what's happening, see what's working, so we can all just become smarter fans together. You can follow me at Cloud9_win on Twitter, c9win.com with 9 as the number. I have tons more content planned. As things get going, we're going to have more scouting breakdowns, more highlights, more videos like this, breaking down wins, breaking down losses, where things went right, where things went wrong. If you have comments or feedback, I'd love to hear. I just want to study. I want to learn. Hopefully we can all learn something together and all grow together. Thank you. See you next time.